All right, we're live, coming to you on another Wednesday. Thank you, Kirk. How we doing today?
Good. Sorry, guys. I was taping the BO boys. I apologize for being a few minutes late.
That's okay. Everybody's patient. We're good to go. Long day for you?
It's been a pretty long day. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of Laconia stuff, and then we did the show today, and yeah, but we're doing okay. We're getting ready. We're ready for next Saturday night, so we're excited. What's up, Danny?
Good. Danny,
hey, Kirk, how you doing?
Good.
Good. All right. So we'll, thank you first of all for coming on, Kirk. We'll try
Anytime.
to stick with the the Jerry Callahan podcasting rules. We'll either go 38 minutes or 56 minutes. We'll see.
Okay, whichever you want.
We'll see where it ends up. But yeah, and sorry, I know you said you like to watch the show, but since you're going to be on it, you're not going to watch it. So I apologize.
I know. Yeah, I know. Well, Dana will watch. I talked to Dana Beers earlier. He's excited, so we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time tonight.
And Viva's in the chat. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We don't. Yeah. One thing I'll say, Freddie, I'll let you do your show, but you are very. Don't worry about the chat.
No, it's a joke. But
okay. Well, okay.
Appreciate that.
0 for 1. All
right. Danny, anything to say? Before we get started.
No, just happy to be here. I think it's in these ratings wars. You got to bring in the big guns when you got to beat Mick.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring in the guys that bring in the ratings. So good to be here.
Yeah, no beef with Mick. We're good, I think. At least on my side of the aisle. So, so let's just get into it. Laconia expectations. You've been working hard on getting that show prepared. 10 days from now, live in New Hampshire, Kirk. Where is your expectation level set at right now?
High. I mean, they're always high for these. Sometimes it lands like the Portland ones and the Wilbur, and then sometimes it's Plymouth. So, I don't know. I know we've worked very hard on it. There's some stuff I'm really excited about. We're at the point now where we can see the finish line. It reminds me of season 1 maybe of the case when we would do these long episodes that'd be an hour and 30 minutes, and we started just editing, and it was a mess at first, and then you could start seeing it. And we're at the point now we're in the middle of, you can actually see the finish line a little bit. So I feel good. We have a lot of work to do between now. Like, I'd say the next week solid. If we can have it locked by Thursday next week, I think we'll feel pretty good. Gives us 2 days. Head up there. So yeah, I feel good. I feel pretty good.
So you can start to see the puzzle pieces coming together.
There you go. I can't, but others can. Yeah.
Danny, excited for Laconia?
I am. I've been given the hall pass. The shackles have been taken off. Yep. I will be in Laconia.
That's great.
So, yeah, very excited. I think that'll be, I know there's a lot of notable figures that won't be there, so hopefully I can help fill some big shoes.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely excited for the show, and especially for Mike and Minna fans on Friday. That's according to that poster, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, wear your bulletproof vest. I heard.
Yeah. Somebody will die. That's almost a certainty. I mean, the reviews I'm getting. I think I said this on the show today. Maybe I said it off the air. Somebody who I'm very good friends with went to this place, and they were like, "Kirk, this place is like legitimately a shithole." Like, so, but but these people are just going to drink and vomit and whatever, so they'll be fine.
I think that little strip is just sort of a bunch of biker dive bars. So when it's off season, it's probably just a hole in the wall. So.
But you're right, Freddie, about downtown Laconia. But this is not that. This is like 15 minutes outside of downtown Laconia.
Weirs Beach, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's like that. I don't know it. Yeah.
So it should be a good time. I mean, you can stick the Minifans anywhere; they'll have a good time. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, what was Julie's rationale in picking this place? Do we?
She's a drunk. She's Peter Minihane would say she's just a goddamn drunk. I mean, it's just what it is. I'm sure she's gotten drunk there before or whatever, and has some memory of being shit faced there. And when you think of places where you were drunk, it sort of conjures up warm memories or fun. Oh, this happened, but the cold, sober reality is that people have died. This is like Gettysburg, or the World Trade Center. Some people remember where they were when that happened, but some don't. But so my guess is she was just absolutely blitzed one night and said, "Oh yeah, I remember that place." I mean, the posters are unbelievable. They're fucking unbelievable. Did we put them out?
I've yet to see it, but maybe
that's going to draw a crowd. If nothing else, that'll pull people in off the street. They'll be wandering around in 6 inches of snow, seeing a great poster, saying, "Oh, let me check this out."
They said the first poster, and I was like, "I don't care." And then the second poster, and then Justin said, "Like, does Kirk need to see this?" And I said, "Why did Barstool send?" And they're like, "No, it's just the place." I'm like, "What the fuck do I care then? I don't care."
I like how they changed the logo. They changed the logo from KMS to Mike and the Minifans.
Yeah, great. I mean, good.
The first one had a Barstool logo on it. I don't think you want that.
No, well, whatever. I don't really. Yeah.
But anything else on Laconia? It'll probably come up as we go along. But busy schedule.
Yeah. Busy schedule, a lot of stuff. Yeah, I take these theater shows, very seriously and make them sort of productions, and I do enjoy doing that. It's a lot of work. Every time you do it, you think, am I going to do it again? And then you take a month or two off, and then something happens on the show or some idea happens, and you think, I said this, we filmed something yesterday that, if it looks right, is probably the funniest thing we've ever done. People were dying here. We had a lot of people here yesterday filming, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
How much do you potentially change, like within 24 hours before the show, like, or even off the cuff? In the moment?
There are things we've done. Each of the last Portland ones for sure. Day of, we film stuff, and if we don't like something, maybe we'll cut something out of a sketch or try and add something late. It's tough. Like the last day is tough when you're there. It's also weather sort of dependent. So a lot of stuff we do is already filmed. It might look weird, but yeah, I'm sure something will get added day of, definitely.
So this show, I'm sure I'll ask a bunch of stupid questions, so we'll take our first shot at one of them. But every few weeks, maybe once a month, you tweet out after a show, you say "great show."
Yeah.
So my question to that is, what's the bar for you to be able to tweet out "great show"? Is that you're getting through 2 hours and you feel like you didn't really have to work too hard to get there, or is it a show that makes you laugh a lot, or what's that bar?
Probably be more than that. I mean, I think, because I'm sure I'll do great show if the last hour is, put it this way, if the first hour is really good and the second hour is not great, I won't walk out and tweet great show. If the first hour is okay and the second hour is great, I'm way more likely to tweet out, this was a great show. Like the last half sticks with me more than the first half. But yeah, I think sort of the lightness, the laughter, the chemistry. But if there's those 2 or 3 moments that happen, like I think listeners of the show or people who watch it know when a show moment happens that is like going to stick around forever versus like a funny one that kind of comes and goes and floats away. I can't think of one because that's what happens. But like the Justin stuff last week, or it's a moment where you're like, okay, this is now part of the definition of him and will be an ongoing. I mean, look, even the thing with Dave's brother, like that's a great show moment. We found out Dave's brother is an extraordinarily flamboyant homosexual. Like it's a great moment in show history. Like,
yeah.
Really
when Mike says that he laughed the hardest he's ever laughed, even though he says it a couple times a year.
He's done it a few times, but that's good. Like, it's funny. He said that, Freddie, and there was a moment I was trying to remember. I have no memories. I'll prove, I'm sure at some point here. There was a moment with me, him, and Steve where we were laughing so hard I couldn't breathe, and I just can't remember what that was. It was an unbelievable moment. I still think is the hardest I've ever laughed. I don't remember it. Yeah, I was paralyzed. But yeah, that was. But like even today, I think we tweeted out when I said that Cullinane, like during 9/11, somebody went up to him in class and said, "What's going on today?" And he was like, nothing too interesting, nothing too exciting. Like
nothing too exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun, like, we laughed hard. So we're still doing that, whatever. I know Mama Kay doesn't like the show anymore, but talk about trying to jam something in. That story with Bonus Salad at the end was unbelievable. But
Bonus Salad reached out. He wanted to get your approval of his booby list at Barstool. Do you approve?
I don't know the younger girls' breasts. I don't. I try not to. I'm so old now. Who was? Let me hear the list again.
I don't have it in front of me, but KFC's producer was number 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know some of the other girls either.
Casey, I know Casey very well. Of course, I don't. I think she certainly has bosoms. I mean, I believe he's a true pervert, so I'm sure he put a lot of work into it. I don't want to get in his, it's his art form.
It's Jackie Nichols 1, Hannah Montoya 2, Casey Smith 3, Hannah Cook 4, and then Annika Christie.
Oh, 5. Yeah, I don't really know. Sure, yeah.
Honorable mention, Movie and Me.
You made the list?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
And Danny tweets out great show after every show, so I don't need to ask him what his
show hater. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So troll chat keeps us honest, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we talked about a little bit about Laconia, the producers. Where are you at, like, sort of with the producers overall? I know there's always criticism. I always preface this: they have a hard job. We don't know, everything they're doing behind the scenes. Are you happy with them overall, or sort of up in the air?
Pretty happy. I was talking to Jeff D. Lowe tonight. And I was saying, I know he's taking some criticism. I'm enjoying this Cullinane era from an on-air perspective. more than any producer I've had before. Justin, Steve, Coleman, Gus, whoever. I go to if you listen to the show, I do a lot of I'll do a lot of I'll say something to Mike and I'll be like, Dave, what do you think of that? He's a good reactor like that. I've enjoyed him in that role. He's lazy, of course, as a producer, but they're all dumb and lazy. I think Justin's done a good job. But look, Saturday's a big test. I think they'll do well. I know everyone loves Coleman now. This is how it is. And I like Coleman, but Coleman didn't want to be here. And Gus, just wasn't trying. He was, so this seems to me to be a fine run right now for these guys. They do things that drive me crazy. Of course. They're no producers in the world that are scrutinized as the producers on this show. I mean, there are, but I think pretty good. I'd say pretty good.
Yeah. And you said the word lazy, and people say that and they take it and they run with it. But just in terms of the day-to-day, are there things that you wish that they would be doing differently, whether it's drops or whether it's, whatever, on the show?
Yeah, I wish Dave was better with drops. Yeah, I do like drops. I liked him on the old show. I liked him. Steve got a little better at them. Coleman was good at it. Justin tries. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'm sure I contribute to this with the way I am. I think there's a fear sometimes of these guys to try stuff without seeing if I'm okay with it. And that's probably my weakness as a boss. Cause I'm these guys will tell you with this live show, I'm a control freak with this stuff, but I wouldn't mind but I just don't think it's in Dave's DNA to go do a man on the street thing or try. I just don't think he's built that way.
No, for sure not.
I don't think so.
Danny, thoughts? You've been highly critical of the producers. So
Dave usually is the man on the street, in front of the courthouse. He's the one getting interviews.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah,
that's the difference there.
It's tough when you're a celebrity. Yeah.
No, definitely. I think the drops always make it, and I think Cullinane's definitely I think come a long way in that area when he wants to, and
he's trying. Yeah.
I think obviously there's always been a criticism in the past, Kirk, that you rely on the too much with the what's next. I mean, how do you react to that?
About criticism?
Well, yeah, that in specific,
I don't care. From who? From sneakers? Who cares?
Yeah, or if the problem is if it's an hour into the show and they say, oh, we don't have anything else to talk about.
Oh, I thought you meant how I respond to criticism of people who think I rely. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I will say though, when I am in my mood and I'm just nope for 13 stories, it's kind of are they supposed to have 740 stories the next day after we do 2.5 hours? That's on me. I can be a real dick with that stuff sometimes. Yeah, I will say Coleman never ran out of stories. A lot of them sucked, but sometimes you can do something out of a story that sucks. Dave will do you're not going to care about this, then do it. That I don't love, because then it's well, how am I supposed to? What am I supposed to do now?
Which Robinson did as well, but without the preface.
Did he? I don't remember.
He would ram it in until you'd eventually talk.
Well,
about
what Dave will do is he'll say, "Well, you don't care about this story, right?" And then wait for your reaction.
Right. And I'm well, probably not, but you might be able to find. And it's also I get it's my show. But they can also have opinions on it. We have two other people here. Maybe they have opinions on it. But they, and they also bring in a lot of stories now as well. So that's good.
And the thing about stories is they didn't stories is one thing. Steve used to have 50 sound clips cut up. I feel like they don't cut sound anymore.
They don't do a lot of that. I would agree with that. And but also look, how I go hot and cold. Am I interested in doing listening to bad radio and doing 56 minutes on it at this point? No. 2 years from now, maybe I will be again. We did it. Parody songs. Sometimes they're fine, but I've done those. Prank phone calls. We did those 5 years ago. I don't really want to do that anymore. So now it's actual, but I mean, the show is what, 2.5 hours today?
Yeah, about that.
I mean, it's a 2.5 hour podcast. We're going to do one tomorrow. It'll be 2.5 hours. So we're still doing it. But yeah, when Dave does his first, it's not even when he gets to the nothing too interesting. Is that what he says?
Nothing too exciting.
It's the 2 or 3 before that when he does his first, and I'm well, all right. We're 2 stories away from him having nothing left. So let's see if we could stretch this one out. Or let me look at Twitter myself and see if there's something else going on. And I also think they sometimes fall in the trap of, Kirk's probably going to want to talk about SNL 50 for an hour today. It's well, No, I probably want to talk about it for about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, shit. Like, oh, yeah, chicken fry fought back. Like Kirk's the one. Well, not always. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And then sometimes you wind up doing a half hour on Mountain Dew, which can happen, or 45 minutes, whatever it was today.
And actually, I thought the Mountain Dew bit was pretty good today. And there's been a few of these the last couple of weeks where you've got that. I mean, the show was literally over the other day, and then you got one of the best bits of all time.
Right.
After Justin brought it back. So, and that's that harkens back to the days before YouTube, where you're looking at the show, how much time is left, and you say, all right, have a good day. And then it's, there's still an hour, and you're like, holy shit. And sometimes that's where the gold really lies. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. My interest in doing a 3-hour and 40-minute show at this point is not where it was 5 years ago. People can say whatever they want to that. Everything would have to be just right for one of those. We bump up a 240, 250 still, I think, semi-frequently. But like the show would have to be rolling for me to go. I mean, that was with no phone calls, I think. Right?
No phone calls, a lot of like sound though to react to, a lot of bad radio or
but that was start taking phone calls every day for a while. So like today would have been taking, to Danny's point, we probably would never got to that thing the other day with Justin. We probably taken phone calls before that. So there's pros and cons to it.
You mentioned tomorrow. I know you don't remember who Bradley Stein is.
I would like him to wave his arms a little more. I don't know.
So I just took a quick look at Twitter in the last hour. He has 27 tweets in the last 6 hours, 146 tweets in the last 6 hours. He thinks he's coming in and setting the world on fire tomorrow.
Hey, the world, the microphone is yours, buddy. Like this is it. Let it rip. I would love for him to be great and become a big part of this world. I suspect he's not going to be, but I could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
Quick side note on Brad Stein. When I sent out a promotional tweet for when I was going to have Clemmer and Blind Mike on my show last week.
Yeah.
Not 14 seconds after I sent that tweet out, Bradley Stein was in my DMs saying that he would be a uniquely perfect fit to join them on that show because of his past.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess he sold ads for them in the past, and I think that's where the controversy started. So he's I think ready to go.
But where you guys might know better. We've had this happen so many times. Why do you suddenly get reinvigorated? Like what?
It was a KMS historian retweeted like 1 year ago today. Bradley Stein was on the show or whatever.
But that got no reaction, right? I mean, nobody cared other than him.
Just out of him.
Right. Okay.
I think he's gonna be a total flop tomorrow. That's my prediction.
Is that right,
Danny? Yeah. Stein time is a flop for Danny?
Yeah, that's mark me down, which means the opposite will happen. So it should be.
Where have you been, Danny? I haven't seen you in studio in a long time, right? Or am I wrong?
No, I've been I got laid off and
that's right. Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Kind of just been it's actually I think it'll it's going to lead to better things in the end.
Good.
But I've been contracting, flying solo, so just been trying to survive. But
your old partner Daver has been showing a little leg lately. He's
around.
Yeah, I predict he'll be in this studio in 2025. I predict. Yeah, maybe to collect money. Maybe but he'll be here. Yeah,
I'd give you probably minus 110 odds on that.
Ooh, he likes those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, talking about third chairs, where are you on third chairs overall? Just sort of briefly, are you happy with, the people they're bringing in, or do you think, there's going to be some duds here and there?
Well, I'll give you an example. Like, so I have it for my right hand here. Dreamtown, USA.
Yes.
I have no idea. It just happened the other day. Who was that?
DG. Dan, the teacher from Philly.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. So he was a nice guy, but there are people who come in, and Danny is he's welcome anytime. He's a good third chair. There are people who come in to contribute to the show and have thoughts and, understand when to talk and not to talk. And then there are people who come in because feel like they won a contest. I don't like the won a contest people. This guy was a nice guy the other day. He's a win the contest guy, though we had games, but a lot of sitting around. And in the first time, Danny may obviously speak this better than me. I see the first time a lot for these people. There's a lot of this, like, what the fuck is going on here? I walk in, this is true. Danny knows this. Like, I'll just be like, are we ready to go while I'm walking in? And then I'll just leave. And I don't know what they're expecting, but overall from a third chair, I think pretty good. Like, I think there's more good than bad with these third chairs. Because like if Mike's here, or Montante's here, or whoever when Mutt was here, if the third chair adds anything great, if they don't, we've done this 50,000 times. Not a big deal. It's when they're bad, they talk too much and they're bad, which is very rare. That's when you have a problem. That I can't think of the last time that happened.
But at least then you can make fun of them. Like you can have a little bit of fun with that. I think, and then if you're too quiet, you can say, oh, you only said 10 words, Bish. So there's, I think there's actually a very small percentage of folks that it just doesn't hit one way or the other. They can certainly be forgettable, and certainly I've been in that category at times. But I mean, look, there's definitely a level of intimidation. But what's kind of cracked me up though is it's been a couple times now in the last few guests where the third chairs try to they need to talk to you on air because they know they can't talk to you after the show.
Including Cinema, which was just ridiculous.
Well, that part where he actually did talk to you after the show, and probably would have been better if he just did it on air.
Bad.
Yeah, Cinema wanted me to have Mud on with you tonight. I told him that it was just a good idea.
Yeah, just a bad. You got to read the room, Cinema.
Then you've got some third chairs that are like glue guys that they're not going to blow your socks off, but they don't suck. Like you got Played Against Sports guy. Yep. He's good, once every couple of months. Yep. He's going to sit in the seat and add a few things.
Who's the other one? The bed and breakfast? No, what's his name? Steve's. There's a different guy as well.
Steve, you're live to tape.
Yeah, he's fine. Like he's good. I would put Danny in that category when he was here. There are guys who, when Dave says to me, "These guys are in," you're like, "Oh, okay, good." Like Bradley Stein. You
don't have to worry.
Right. Like Bradley Stein, I have no concerns about because he's new. If he's bad, it's funny. If he's good, great. We have somebody good. But when he's like, "Hey," it's like that guy Monday, who was a nice guy. I had no idea, and then there are 30, 40-minute stretches where he's saying nothing, and then he's asking me questions about like sports. I'm just like, this is not I'm not an interview show. So
I think for those of us in that category, like we want to be like a Scott Hatterberg. If we hit 250, take a walk, maybe hit a double once in a while, hit a homer where it's actually a decent talker. Great.
Sporto, Danny.
I forgot how boring Danny is sometimes. He's just with a dummy. Terrible one.
Put a bow on the third chairs. DG's game, Dreamtown USA.
The irony is, the irony, Freddie, is I'm falling asleep to that story as Mutt would fall asleep to Scott Hatterberg in Moneyball.
Correct.
Yes.
It's full circle. Yeah.
That's good.
What's that, Freddie? Thank you, Freddie.
Yeah. The Dreamtown USA game, that was one of 3 games, and that was a full dog walk draft list episode.
Yes. Oh, was it really?
The whole studio.
That's right. Game. He wanted. Yeah, because I was like, okay, and then he's like, okay, Dave. I'm like, no, we're
taking 40 minutes.
We're not doing that. But yeah, he was a nice kid. So, and everybody, everybody means well generally, and it's a funny show too, where like Bish becomes. If Bish had come in and just been okay, he'd be nowhere as big as he is now. Like Bish is like, like he's a name now. If you say Bish in this world, everyone knows who you're talking about. And what it means, what it represents.
Hopefully he'll be back. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
So just quickly on the Robbie V spaces, I wanted to, Danny is the curator of these spaces. He's in there. So
yeah, where am I wrong, Danny? Where correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
So I had a conversation with Robbie V today because I wanted to make sure that I didn't misrepresent his thoughts. Mm-hmm. I heard your discussion of it on the show today. I think in a vacuum, you're completely right, Kirk. And
Sap of the century. Yeah.
Sorry?
Sap of the century he gets from me today.
That's pretty good. He said he enjoyed being called Dickhead of the Decade by you.
Oh, yeah, good. Okay, yeah.
So that was pretty good. He's like, I hadn't thought of that one. I'm like, all right.
Why not? Yeah. We love Robbie V. You know that.
No, I know that. And I, you even threw in there that you still love him. So, you felt okay about it.
Yeah.
But technically you're correct in that, look, the Robbie V space or whatever space is, it's a public forum. So anybody can go on, they can do anything, they can repeat things. But I think what Blind Mike latched onto where he was correct is there's something to be said about the Robbie V spaces itself, where Robbie V will say probably ad nauseum way too much that this is not recorded. This is kind of a safe space isn't the right word.
I know, but this is 20. We're adults here. The way that world works, like somebody is going to do that at some point. Like I get
surprised when it happens.
Yeah, I get Mike and Robbie and your point. I totally get that, but like somebody is going to eventually do that. They know that.
Honestly, what annoyed me more is how dumb that clip was. So Menners called me and he swore on his children's life that he was not the one that recorded that audio.
I believe that.
Yeah. And I agree because why else would he call me and say that? Like he doesn't really care. He thinks the attention's funny. So someone else recorded that and submitted that dumbass clip that somehow led the show off the other day. And
it was also weird. Yeah.
It was a horrible clip. It was just me talking. It was terrible.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I was surprised that so many people were worked up. I'm like, well, obviously somebody's gonna do this.
Well, he got worked up, and then Shark Minihane, his comeback was a reply prior to his little tax thing.
Does he have a Twitter account? I'll look him up.
Well, he replied to Robbie V calling him the biggest pussy in the universe.
Saw that. I did see that.
That worked up Robbie V, and next thing you know, he's back on mental time. So
I said to the show 20 times. I love Shark Minihane, but like, it's not everything gets to be great. Like that wasn't. Sorry, Freddie. To go into the next topic, the Shark Minihane deleting his Twitter account. Like I was pretty light on him. It didn't work for me. He sends me this long message. He deletes his account. I've been the biggest during the show. I'm the biggest supporter of this guy there is, unless it's a joke, and I don't think it's a joke. I think he's legitimately like, what? Did you guys think that was funny? I don't mean to be a dick. I do plenty of things that aren't funny. I don't know.
I think Shark, he'll be back. I think he.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Short temper Shark. I think, but I'll give him some credit when we were compiling the 1,000 or the episode list to see how close we are to 1,000. He did 99% of the work. He's great. He's great. He did more work compiling those episodes than I think any intern or producer has done for you in months, maybe.
Oh, no question.
Outside of Confused Duck, who also doesn't get paid by the show.
Also correct. Yeah.
Quick transition. 1,000th episode. We just mentioned it. I've said on this program that you're looking for a spot to have the 1,000th episode. I think just go to Milton's in Burlington, corner off a couple of square 100 feet, and just do it right there. And you're not looking for a crowd. You're just looking for a symbolic spot.
Want me to break news here? Want me to break news? I have the spot picked out already.
Ooh.
I know where we're doing it. It's not Milton's. I love Milton's. Store for Men. 3 great locations, Freddie, as you know, and Danny. I have the spot. I don't know when the show is. Do we know how many shows away we are? Probably.
Depends if there's a break or not after the live show. But if there's
not going to be right after. There'll be one at some point once we figure out what the case is. But we'll still be doing shows after.
So you've been averaging 3 to 4 shows per week. It's going to hit mid to late March, 25th or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I think I know we're going to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
That will be, by the way, also probably I shouldn't give everything away, but given the history of the show and the weight of it, that will be a podcast only episode. Probably. Logistically, probably. That's how we'll have to do it.
So a place that you can't get a camera in. Okay.
Well,
good to know.
Maybe not. Yeah. So yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, food for thought. Breaking news here on Fireside Chats with Freddy.
I'm trying to get these numbers up.
Yeah. It's a ratings war. It
is.
And I hate to bring this show to a screeching halt, like what Dave says, but we're going to do some trivia if that's okay.
I'm excited for this. I'm curious if I'm either going to be really good at this or really bad at it. I'm excited.
Well, so here's what I did this week. I think I've got three questions, an easy, a medium, and a hard.
Okay.
Kirk, do you want first shot at each one, or do you guys want equal shots?
I'll go first. Let me have the first shot, Danny, if that's okay. Because I'm actually very curious because I remember nothing about the show.
The first one's a softball.
A lot of pressure on me here.
On me. So it's my fucking show. It's me.
Yeah, but you know that you always say you don't remember anything. So.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, KMS trivia. The first one's a 1 out of 10. It's really, it's embarrassing. Who was the guitar supposedly signed by at Cullinan's relatives' charity auction?
That's Paul McCartney, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's
you knew that one, Danny, right?
I did. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. This one is like maybe a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Which Paw Patrol character did Cullinan's son go as for Halloween 2 years ago? According to Dave on the show, he said this on the show. His son, which Paw Patrol character?
Oh boy, I have absolutely no idea.
Do you want to guess what color that Paw Patrol character wore?
Blue, pink? Oh, pink, probably, right? Is that right? If it's Colleen's son, no?
Yes, it was the pink one.
Polly? I don't know. I don't. My kids weren't into. Harry's kind of into it, not that much.
Her name is Sky.
Sky. Okay. You know that, Danny, or no?
I actually did because my son's in a Paw Patrol right now. So
there you go. Yes. Always on the.
And of course, there's a Paw Patrol character named Chase. So that would make.
That's what I was thinking. That threw me off. I did remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a his son's name is Chase. There's a character named Chase, but his son went as Sky, the girl.
Okay.
Was it Dave's brother or son?
How dare you?
Maybe both. I don't know. Who's to say?
Not happy right now.
Third one's a little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Who ordered? So was it Justin that ordered the lobster ravioli?
Yes.
Okay. What was the name of the restaurant in Miami?
Oh, God.
That Justin ordered the lobster ravioli from?
I could picture we did. That's where we did the radio from.
I think Barstool Radio was live from that bar all week.
Yeah,
in Miami that week.
That's where we did. That's where I did the shows with Riggs and Dave. Right, I did radio with them that week.
Yes. And I remember Rico calling in while you were on set.
Yes.
Going crazy. You were like, who the fuck?
Who is this? I do remember that he say it. Is it a one word place or no? Oh, I have no idea then. Danny, no.
La Fiesta?
No. Tequila Chicas.
I would not have remembered that. Okay. No chance. No chance.
No.
What?
Someone did tweet the menu out the other day, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mikey Grab Bags. Yeah, that
so I guess if
that triggered it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good meal.
Yeah. I see Mick in the comments saying that I remember the Barstool stuff. Hey Mick, when when you had the movie theater question about saving seats and stuff, who did you go to? Some Barstool guys, Jeff D. Lowe, Chris Clemmer. Went straight to the Barstool guys. But hey, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. Sure. But good trivia.
Comments, Freddie. Don't worry about the comments. Come on.
Kirk wins 2-0.
Thank you. Yep.
Valiant effort by Danny.
I tried, Danny. 2-0. Yeah, that's right. 2-0. Yes.
So
you didn't even let me answer Sky, but thanks. Like you said, keep not letting in goals over here. That's fine.
We'll keep it rolling. The mini golf that's going to be Masters Week. Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah.
Is it back in Chicago? Same setup.
I don't want to give too much away. I know it's back in Chicago. I don't know if they're changing. I actually don't know if they're changing the setup. I think it's going to be Ryder Cup format. Though I think that's in the air too. We'll know more Fridays Unnamed, so I think we'll talk about that hopefully. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be good to see everyone. I think hated in the Chicago office now after everything that happened. But that's okay. I don't blame them. I mean, they should hate me.
Do you get the sense that you will be named a captain for that?
I mean, I told everyone if asked, I'd be honored to be a playing captain. I would take it very seriously. Very serious as a Ryder Cup captain would. I would love that opportunity. Would absolutely love it. Yeah. So the powers that be are aware that I would like to have it, which means I probably won't get it.
Is there a commissioner of that specific tournament?
I believe it's one of the great morons of all time, Henry Lockwood. So I don't know, I don't know how that's going to go. Honestly, we still get along great after all the Dan stuff. So, we'll see.
Well, as long as they don't throw the scorecards away like they did at the first one on Long Island.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That was the one in Long Island, right? The one Jeff won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute from Portnoy's house.
Right. And I know so I think tournament's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Monday night will be like the Masters Champions dinner. Whitney, Jeff, and myself, the 3-minute golf champions, will have a dinner. Whitney gets to pick where, picks the menu like the Masters champions do. So I'm looking forward to that night with those guys, two of my great buddies at the company.
Yes. Danny, thoughts on that?
I think it's a great chance for you to come back and win another title.
I need a win. I need a win bad. I'm in a big slump. Losing trivia the other day, last year, mini golf, surviving. It's not been good lately.
Did they stick you with a putter from a sponsor last year at the mini golf?
I don't remember. I putted fine. I mean, I just had that one hole. Like I was 22 under through two holes through 2 rounds last year. So that wasn't. I actually liked the putter. You take away that hole, I think I finished in second by like 4 shots. So the putter was not an issue. The first year it kind of was, but no, I'm sure they will. I'm sure TaylorMade or somebody. No problem as long as I can get a blade. I'll be fine. Not worried about that.
Well, shout out Hago Harrington's my home course growing up as well. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, bike riding distance. So
yeah, wasn't the same after they. I like the new owner; he's a very nice guy. But when they changed it around, it didn't quite have the same charm. But yeah.
I was a Pirates Cove guy in Hull.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
I played there. Yeah.
New dozen team. you lost the first round, but I feel like you don't win your championships in week 1. So you feel good that this team can go a deep run in the playoffs.
Definitely. I mean, for Kevin Clancy, this was the like a championship for him.
That was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm happy they had that. I feel fine. Like I said, Robbie nailed the mashup right away and the music right away, and those are our big. I think we have the worst music percentage of anybody. So I mean, the movie thing was a fluke. Like we'll never do that again. That's a 4-point swing. The other one was a 8-point swing in the match. So I am not worried. I think we're going to play next week. We have a matchup next week, so I think we'll be fine. I actually feel like last year, all year, I was like, we have no chance.
Do you know who you're playing next week?
Yes, I think we're playing 4-play next week.
Oh, they stink.
Yeah, but listen, that's a lot of pressure in a way. So we need to get a nice win. I want Clemmer to have a good game. Robbie's been good. So I feel totally like a year ago, if you'd asked me, I said I feel terrible. I wouldn't lie to you about this if I had felt bad. I feel like we're going to be really good. I think we have as good a chance. When we won the championship that year, like 18 things had to happen in the playoffs for us to win. So it's a fluke to win in a way, but I feel like we'll be in. Like last year, we had no chance. This year, getting in there, I think we'll be one of the top 3 or 4 seeds, legitimately, unlike last year.
Danny, 3-part question. Do you watch every episode of The Dozen, only Kirk's episodes of The Dozen, or no episodes of The Dozen?
I watch Kirk's episodes, and then I will randomly put on some others.
I enjoy them. Yeah, I enjoy them.
I mean, I like the trivia aspect of it. It's one of those things like I'll put it on in the background sometimes if it's not a Kirk episode because I don't, if I miss something, I don't really care. Interested. I enjoyed it. Of course, Kirk was on all of them. I liked the experts one.
Me and Brandon.
Yeah, the knowledge in that
was a good show.
Yeah. I mean that the fact that they found guys that could keep up with that were, that was pretty impressive.
After we won a couple of years ago, Brandon and I were pretty close to going on our own as a team. The next year, we were in deep discussions of just having the powers of people like you guys. We can't do that.
Just the two of you? Or?
Just the two of us. Yeah, we weren't going to have anybody else, and we were going to try and win the championship. But
Magic and Bird.
Yes, yeah, but did not happen.
Brandon would be the one with AIDS.
Yes, he has it. Yeah.
The case. So, nothing too specific, but any updates on the case for season 3? Also, back in the day, you said season 1 case had a book deal with you and Steve. Did that ever do anything, or
no? That fell through. We have. I mean, again, we continue to talk to people about both seasons, doing documentaries on them, doing books on them, and new seasons. And I'm not particularly interested in going back and doing the past again. So we've now whittled it down. We were, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, I was in Iowa for a week. We did shows. I was at a hotel. Like there was a story in Waterloo, Iowa, that I was very close to doing, about 4 different missing girls, one of them not happening. There was a story in North Carolina I was super close to doing, didn't happen. One in Tennessee, another one in Maine. So we've been dancing around it. Now there's one in a state that we've never been to, that I think might be the one. But I'm not going to do it until I'm 100%. And there's no company pressure. If I do it in October, fine. If I want to do it in March and take March off, fine. But it's been a couple of years now, and we're getting closer to it. But there's also, like I want it to be good. I don't want to just bang one out and kind of.
It's got to be the right fit. It's got to be, something that makes sense.
I'm not going to do it unless
just to do it.
Yeah, I've abandoned probably half a dozen that were very close to being done. So,
will Dr. Dan ever come out?
I hope so. I mean, there's no legal issues with that. That feels like an episode to me. It doesn't feel like a series. So we interviewed, I don't know, 80 former patients, probably. Yeah. Dave and I did over the course of 4 or 5 months. So
you think he lost that audio since then?
Probably, yeah. I think that's probably been edited out. Yeah, he's probably got God knows,
Was Shattuck one of the interviewees?
He was. Like I said, that was the one guy. No problem with Dr. Dan. I wish Dr. Dan had raped him. Honestly, that would have been fine. If Dr. Dan had raped him, I wouldn't do the series. I'd say we're even. Like no big deal. Like well done. Shake his hands and probably say good job. I think Cullinane probably is edited out. Like he's probably has 5,000 Nurse Kim interviews that he's decided to go with instead. Another arm waiver, by the way. Jesus.
And she's a regular participant in Robbie V Spaces, by the way.
And she's a big capital M mute for me on She's the Bradley Stein Mute Award.
By the way, this whole Cullinane thing, like, oh, I don't like. He won't say that she didn't do it. I don't get this.
Well, he thinks my thing on Cullinane is I think he thinks she did it.
He doesn't want to say it though.
Yeah, he doesn't want.
He won't have a backbone.
I didn't think he thought that until the last 2 episodes, and then he had another chance today.
Because if he didn't think she did it, like that's the popular side. That's his crowd. Like he's throwing the meat. So
I think he thinks she did it, but she's going to get off on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he just does it, because he's so comfortable bullshitting. Why wouldn't he just say, yeah, she didn't do it? Like he loves it comes down to a couple people have told me, Turtle Boy's one of them, that he hated not being invited to that thing in November. That gnawed at him, that he's on the outside now.
Oh, the thing he couldn't go to anyway?
Right, yeah, we'd never have gone to it. Like, I think that's really he's a very shallow person. So, and I said to say in the show, he's been tweeting pretty frequently lately. He was not going to tweet at all yesterday. He was going to get bludgeoned if he tweeted yesterday. He wanted no part of that. No part of it. That crowd's crazy. Holy fuck. Oh, yeah. That was 5 million of them, and they're all nuts. Jesus.
I don't know anything like that with the type of crowd that is more passionate on one side or the other. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't want them melding with our crowd. That's crazy. I don't need that. Yeah. No thanks.
Unnamed show. How many topics? I don't know. You get a topic list each week. How many of them are you like when you're not interested in it? Like what percentage is that? And do you have to like actually look stuff up, or?
I don't do anything. I do zero prep for that. There's 50 stories. I mean, I pay attention during the week, so I know most of them. But like tomorrow will be. It's a show where like it's what Dave's interested in. It's like Dave's not. I've given this example. I was the subject of accused of being the reason Aaron Hernandez killed himself on an FX show. If that was Dave, he would have done 3 months on it. He did we did 2 seconds, and he's like, "Yeah, did you guys see this other show?" Like, it's just you're in Dave's world. Like, I get it. I know Eddie's been there. Like tomorrow, I don't give one fuck about this Bitcoin. Not one. He'll do it. I won't pay attention to it.
I don't even understand it.
I don't either. I don't want to. I'm glad people are making money. Whatever. If Dave, whatever. I don't care. He'll do that. Whitney will be interested, I think. I won't pay attention at all, and then we'll find something else, and we'll do that, I guess, probably.
Danny, did you buy Jail Stool?
I didn't. I don't pretend to really understand it either. And what I'm trying to figure out with, I was talking to my friend, PRC Coleman, by the way, great episode tonight with
really good.
Chomps,
yes.
PR Chomps there with sneakers. Yeah. But the whole thing is like, I think he's just fucking with people, right? I mean, I guess it's just.
Danny, I have no idea. I don't know. And I have no idea. And like, the thing about Unnamed is funny. We were just somewhere filming stuff for Laconia, and somebody came up to me and they said, I'm listening to Unnamed. I get a ton of Unnamed from people on the street, like a ton. So
we put Portnoy's face on something and people just, it's a magnet,
people are stuck to it too. People, I know people can play and they want every episode to be World War III, but it doesn't work that way. Sometimes we run into something great, and sometimes but I think even the slog stuff is fine. Like, we can give Dave shit. Nobody else in the company's going to do that. So, like, I'm totally fine with it. Like, once a week, I like hanging. I like both those guys a lot. So if it's 40 minutes, great. No problem.
Yeah, and I've been in the chat once or twice on that show. Everybody says, "What's next? What's next? What's next?" Making fun of you.
Someone's got to host the show.
Who gives a shit, right?
Well, also, like, I'm hosting the show. Like, trust me, if I didn't host the show, it was Dave and fucking Whitney, nothing would ever be done. Like, somebody at some point has to say, Dave, shut the fuck up about this. What else? Or like, the show can just end. I don't care. But yeah, somebody has to say, okay, what else is going on? That's the host's job.
Yeah. Do you think Eddie hates you because you kind of took over his role?
He hated me before that. He hated me before that. He had the sales guy on. I love Eddie, but he hates me.
Did you learn your lesson? Guy. Don't let your teammates call Eddie on the dozen for a phone a friend, because that was the worst phone a friend answer ever given. It was a fast food place. They first only serve chicken nuggets. Zaxby's, all they serve is chicken.
I think that was
not a national chain. It was horrible.
It was weird wording, though.
I'm not a dozen bitcher. You know that. I don't think the phrasing of that was great. Yeah. Like, I immediately thought it was a place that first only served chicken nuggets. And I think Robbie, who read it to him, or me, who read it, phrased it that way too. If it was Robbie, I would have done the same thing. But like, I was thinking too, like, what chain just started serving only chicken nuggets? I thought the phrasing of it was not perfect. Didn't matter. We would have lost no matter what. But
yeah, can you tell Jeff to make the font bigger on the bottom? It's tiny.
you tell him, fucking Freddie. You had him on the show last week.
All right, I'll tell him.
Yeah, Jesus, let him know.
Is Kirk your bitch? Like, hey,
you fucking do it, Freddie.
Are there any KMS guests that you haven't had on the show that you do want on the show?
Like, what do you mean? Like show related or in the world? Like
anybody?
Well, sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, of course, I'd love to have Bruce Springsteen on.
Dana Beers.
Dana. Well, yeah. I mean, I would never be able to have Dana Beers on. Has Dana Beers ever been on? Like, no. Like,
no.
No.
I think he did Did he film something with you at a courturse once?
He filmed the whatchamacallit? The Somerville, the Woodman Curtatone thing.
Yeah.
I love Dana. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like somebody will pop up, we'll have a book, or we'll have a, but like other than that, like these white whale people like Bruce Springsteen, it's a very that list is very small. But I would like to, I always say this, like to have more interview stuff sort of on the side. But right now, like it's Laconia. Then it becomes the case. Like, do I really need Dave? I don't know how much work that is, but like if somebody I like who wrote a book or is in a movie or something, I loved a real pain, the Jesse Eisenberg movie. He wrote it. I would have loved to have had him on. But like, is that going to happen? Probably not. We haven't had a guest on. No, last time we had a guest on. So,
any Minifans? There's no Minifans that you want on that have not been on the show, right?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, am I forgetting? Is there?
Well, Freddy Lynn, when are you going to get in your car and drive?
Have you never been in, Freddie?
I've not. No.
Where do you live? Do you live locally or no?
I'm in PA. I'm a few states away, a few hours away.
Well, yeah, anytime.
John from Scranton does the round trip in like 12 hours.
If the weather's good. Yeah, if it's not.
I'm also boring. I wouldn't be good on the show. I wouldn't make the show better. So don't worry about that.
Whatever you want, but but no, I don't. I think Kevin was the big for the old school crowd. They wanted to see Kevin in here, and he was good. I enjoyed having Kevin. Like Stephen Providence is always welcome back here. He's kind of slipped away, but I know he's not completely gone. So, people, I wouldn't mind like an old timers week at some point. That'd be kind of fun. But I also don't want to get too into remember when, which can happen. So it's a delicate balance. I love Jerry's. I would love to have Jerry back here. I don't think that's going to happen, but
like you're not going to drag in like a feather stain or something like that.
Nah, that doesn't really. I like John, but that doesn't really. He's on a different journey right now. That's not the journey that I'm on. If it ever intersects, then he's always welcome.
Danny, you talked to John Dennis lately?
I have not talked to Dino lately. No,
I think you'll get him. You'll get him in studio before Jerry.
Yeah, the Jerry thing obviously, is complicated and it goes back a while. It's just we haven't talked in a good couple of years, so I think he's really not happy with me, and I could be a dick, and I'm not happy with him, and probably best that we don't talk anymore.
You guys used to flirt with Dino a lot. You would call him, leave him a message.
Yeah,
he was very close. I feel like a couple times coming in.
We had him on, right? His voice was on the show at one point.
Yeah.
John's voice, yeah.
You called him about the Cheetos and the
right.
Yeah.
And we had
Glenn these things? Yeah.
We had Glenn here, which was fun. So yeah, I don't. The next EI guy is probably gonna be Mutt. So.
Well, that was my next question. Are there any KMS guests that you have had that you either miss or don't miss?
KMS guests that we had. Well, it's funny. You miss people when they're gone, but you don't remember why they're gone. Like if you said to me, "Hey, do you miss Karana?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure. I like to have a Karana here." Then you forget why you were annoyed with him because it's been so long. People like that, I mean, I think Mutt's in a weird way having his best run ever. Like Mutt's stock is high right now because he's not around doing the same thing, about the same stuff. But sure, like they're trying to think of people who were in a lot that aren't in anymore. There aren't a lot.
Clemmer said it best. He said, "Me and Mutt were the same person. We had nothing going on, and we just did KMS."
Right.
But
yeah.
Even Clemmer at the time, Clemmer was doing podcasts. Mutt literally has no job.
Right. And I mean, there is as much as I like having Clemmer here, who's here Monday, he's been in a billion times. There is a language with Mutt and I, a shorthand that, we have done so many shows together and we're good friends, and we have that's the one EEI dynamic that's just copy and pasted, really. like we're a little older now, it's different. But if people listen to that old show, like that, Mutt and I had the same exact dynamic. We used to have, we had on the weekends in 2000, like on 10 and 11. So yeah, and he'll be back, maybe sooner, maybe later. I hope something works out for him. But
Danny before the show told me he was his favorite WEI segment was Battle of the Brainless when it was Mutt versus Chris Curtis.
Oh yeah, we did, and we fucking ran that into the ground. I think we did like 14 of those in like 3 months. I think at the end,
every second of it though.
Yeah, it was fun. Those were fun.
And if Tangway would actually be fun, it would be really great to have him.
Yeah. Oh sure. Yeah.
But he's never going to play ball.
I also, you got to remember, guys, like the YouTube crowd and your chats you're in. Like, I'm not kidding when I say 90% of the audience doesn't know who Tangway is, other than like we've referenced him on the show. Like that's a tough. I'd love to have him on. Like I do think if Gary had jumped in from the start, he would have been great on the show. Great, and I think he would have loved it. He's in a weird place. We still talk. We catch up like 3 times a year.
He's scared. Like he wants to get the acting roles, right?
Yeah, and that's not going to happen. But although he's in something, as I said the other day.
Yeah, he's in something right now, right?
Yeah, with Woody Harrel's coming out like next year, I think, or later this year. But no, I'm trying to think of people who have left. Not a lot of people have left, as you guys know, since we started doing the third chair. So no, I mean, yeah, right. So, but it'll be good when Mutt comes back. It'll be good. But yeah, who knows? Could be
couple more rapid.
Yeah, what are the odds we see Mutt before the end of the year? I mean,
somebody has to die. I mean, that's a fact. Like, I'm not bringing it back other than that.
I'm kind of bummed out. So I went to a funeral on Monday, a family friend. He was 92 and he died last Tuesday. And I'm like, fuck.
Why did you tell us that?
Well, I didn't know he was going to die, but
he was 92 and sick. I mean,
Danny's family friend, Dick from Upton.
Right. The other thing is, what if Mutt gets picked again next year? Could happen.
So that's a good transition. Danny, do you have anybody on the death list that you want to suggest for the future?
Well, yeah, I guess now this one literally posthumously would have been. It was too late. Bill Russell. His name was Bill Russell.
Was it really?
Father Bill Russell. He was a priest. He actually married my wife and I.
Okay.
He didn't look anything like the other Bill Russell, but very, very nice guy, and very, very sad loss. No, I don't have a good one. I believe that one was in my craw.
Kirk, how strict are you going to be with the over 90 rule? Because I've got a list of people that not all over 90. Okay. Well, Angie Dickinson is 93.
She's 90. She's in her 90s. Yeah.
Larry Merchant, 93.
Larry Merchant's not dead?
I don't think so.
The boxing guy?
Correct. Yeah.
He's still alive, huh? Good for him.
I think so. But then you've got people in their 80s, like got Wayne Newton, 82. I think.
Yeah, 82 is too young. 82 is too young.
Danny DeVito is 80.
He's not too young. No, we can't do Danny DeVito. Wayne Newton's a rough 82.
Larry Hankin, 87.
Who's that?
Larry Hankin.
Larry Hankin. Who is he? Do you know? No.
He's on my list. He must be an actor from something.
Okay. I don't know him. I don't think. Yeah.
I think he used to maybe be on Seinfeld or something. I don't know.
Okay.
No, that's all I got.
That's your list? Yeah. I don't see anyone. I don't see anybody there.
Not Angie Dickinson, no?
No, not Angie Dickinson. Junior Soprano had a big crush on her, so I wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah. Well, I've got some, we'll wrap it up here soon. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good.
It's been a long day. You gotta, got drive home and everything.
Well, yeah, I'm good.
Your ideal day in Cooperstown. So you're a ticket taker at the Hall of Fame.
Well, a tour guide, yeah, not a ticket taker, Freddie. I'm a fucking tour guide, but yeah. Danny can take tickets. He needs a fucking job.
You're playing 18 at Leather Stocking.
Nah, not really. It's a great. Have you been there?
Yes, love it. Greatest small town in America.
I can make an argument that your namesake should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure. Yes,
I think Jim Rice is the third best candidate of those. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nice run in the morning. Maybe go. There's a little bakery in the corner there. Then there's another little bagel place right outside the center. I'll probably go there, a little breakfast. You go in, do my shift. In my ideal world, the old boss who's become kind of like a father figure to me will say, hey, you get your hour for lunch as usual. I go get my, check out the great used bookstore there. Unbelievable. Maybe the best in the world in Cooperstown. Do a little time there, grab a quick lunch, nice walk. It's a nice, crisp, like 58-degree day. got the jacket on, light jacket. Go back in, finish the day, a couple more tours. Then go back, another nice walk, quiet dinner somewhere. Movie. Maybe start a movie I like, and then that nice night walk when the center's finally, it's just you in the center, all the lights are on, like Moonlight Graham was going for his walk in Field of Dreams. What's that, Danny? I'm sorry.
You're living on one of those houses on the lake there?
Maybe, yeah. I'd like a water view. Yeah, for sure. Right down. The summer's a nightmare, but I'm thinking we're in like October right now. It's September, October.
It's a beautiful town. I'm picturing your boss kind of like Rickles and Dirty Work.
Yes, right. My day's not done yet, Danny. Don't interrupt my dream, okay? Having you there is not part of it, for sure. It's like the only thing Cooperstown is missing, Freddie and Danny, is a little one-screen movie theater.
Yes.
I could use that.
Don't have one.
I know. I think they did. I
think they show movies. There's a brewery like 5 miles down the road, Omegang. Yep. I think in the summertime they put up a movie screen and do stuff down there. Yeah.
Okay. I think because the closest movie theaters like in like Oneonta or whatever that's. Am I pronouncing that right?
I think that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, in the mall there. It's where Harry and I stopped on the way to Delaware. We took the long way because he wanted to go to Cooperstown.
No way.
No, but he wanted. We went up there just that night before and then went down.
Have you taken a boat out on that lake?
No, I'm not a boat guy.
You get a little pontoon. You don't have to do barely anything. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got you. And then call it a night to get up and do the same. Run in the morning and do the same thing again. I could live in. I remember Kate's 5th grade teacher grew up in Cooperstown, and I bombarded her with questions. Kate told me I bombarded her with questions at the parent-teacher conference. Kate could have been flunky. You got a tattoo then, for all I know. I was asking her so many questions about Cooperstown. She was like, "Yeah, it's like she was like, she couldn't get out of town fast enough. She's like, there's like 200 people there." I was like, "You fucking crazy?"
Tough winters.
Sure, it's tough winters here. It sucks here. Tough winters where you are. Danny knows. Billerica's I'm sure it's a disaster right now.
Yeah, I got feet of snow outside.
Manja update, Danny, or no?
Still closed. Yep, still shut down there after the fire, unfortunately. So
second fire there.
Yeah, a little suspicious, right?
No, the owner's a big Minihane, so no.
Okay, we don't want to say anything too bad.
We're rooting for the. I did think the same thing, but yeah.
Kirk, Sharon Stone,
Bedford Farms too, right? Didn't you say they're a Minifan?
Huge. The guy owns it. Yeah, big. Yeah. Yep. That's it, Danny. Just the 2 Minifans in the world who own businesses. Yeah.
They own food businesses within a mile of my house. So
yes, clearly. Yeah. Well, Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone was brought up on the show today.
She was
a caller. Yeah, the caller name flashing thing.
Oh, the teacher. Yeah.
And Mom K said, "Oh, like Sharon Stone." A caller years ago asked you if you knew the story of KFC's dad banging Sharon Stone in the early 80s.
No, I had never heard that. I don't remember.
Never followed up on it. Did you ever ask Kevin?
No, I don't.
He had an old story where his dad used to live in Western PA and he lived out in the woods and banged Sharon Stone one summer in the early 80s.
Oh my God, she was unbelievable back then.
So next time you talk to Kevin, you got to ask him.
Yeah, I'll see if I can fit that in, but if you're just yapping away, if I can get 3 words in. 4 words in. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. That's interesting. I guess I did and I didn't remember it.
Yeah, he told the story, too much Barstool talk, but on one of his old episodes of KFC Radio.
Oh, sure. Danny, Freddie loves that one. Yeah. Great episode.
You once said that as an adult, you've never met another Kirk. Is that still true?
Yeah, I had a chance in Arizona. We were at that house doing all the interviews. Kirk Cousins was there. It's probably when I said it, and I think that is true. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't think I have. It's a pretty rare name.
So, do you think who do you think is the best chance of you meeting? Kirk Cousins, Kirk Herbstreit, or Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Gibson.
Maybe Kirk Gibson. The best chance is probably I could probably do an interview. Does an interview like Zoom interview count or no? Does that have to be in person?
No, that counts.
Kirk Cameron, I think if he was doing like a Christian movie, we could get him on.
Kirk Douglas,
unfortunately, is expired.
No,
he was like 104 though. He had a hell of a run. That's probably the best bet, I think. Yeah, I mean nobody. I see nobody with that name. I grew up, nobody had it. Yeah, it's an uncommon name. It was
Danny, any questions for Kirk before we say our last few words and wrap up?
One thing I just wanted to go back to was, and not to, I mean, my friend David Cullinane here, I'm a big fan, but
sure.
The whole thing with the hockey puck, how did the guy know that he had the hockey puck? Like, he just admitted to it.
Oh, you think he was?
Well, he just kind of gave it up. Like, if it wasn't a purple puck, if it was just this little logo,
yeah,
Cullinane just kind of gave in, like, oh yeah, I must have taken, like, but it was gone. Like, the evidence was gone. He just admitted to it without really. There was something weird in that story.
You also have to remember the core is that Dave thinks this girl, she very well may have been completely free of any issues. And Dave is just really weird and shallow and thinks she was staring at him. Like maybe she stared at him for 30 seconds and he thought that she had some huge disease or something. But
why did he deny that he took, just deny?
He had it. But he had it though, right? In his possession.
It was gone. Another guy had taken it at that point.
That's also a classic Dave story. It was like, I don't want to do, and he tells a story. And it's like, well, you wanted to tell the story because you want us to tell. And it's like, well, I mean, I also picture, like I said, 3,000 pucks there, probably like 6 hockey pucks there. It's a fucking pond. It's not like it's a rink. How many people are skating around with pucks?
Well, as always, he just did a horrible job explaining everything to do.
Amazing.
With the story.
It's one thing Jerry would always say. Jerry's like, even his texts make no sense. And it's true. He'll text you out. Justin, do you feel the same way?
Sometimes I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what, and he'll do the thing where he's like, that thing we're talking about, that thing. And I'm like, I don't know where are you starting this from? Like, what are you talking about?
Even on Twitter, his tweets have always been like
incomprehensible. That was what Jerry would talk about, the tweets. They're I can't follow him. I don't follow him on Twitter this day because he drives me nuts. Like I never know really what he's talking about. And he'll do the thing where he's like, well, like we agree. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? So yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I also think, like I've said this, I think he might be a bad guy. I like him, but he might be just.
I don't want to think that. No, he seems like he seems like a nice. See, that's the problem. It's the guy that seems like the nice guy.
He doesn't like to spend time with his kids, really. Inside, I don't know. It makes me.
He took his kid to the monster truck thing, but
didn't kill time though.
Which didn't help his friend Justin. I didn't get that part.
No, I didn't
like. Knows what he
buy
knows.
a slushie. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the tickets are free. You can spend $30 and give Justin $4 or something.
Give him a tip. Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
Well, how about watchers of this show? No, I've always been a Cullinane fan. Everybody knows.
Sure.
Dave.
Yeah. Am I wrong that Pat Ford was way out of bounds messaging me that question about tipping? What the fuck is he? That's a stupid. Like everybody knows you tip the fucking mover. That's just stupid. It
was a bad question. B, to answer your question, I need to know like how often you guys correspond.
When he has a kid or he goes in the mental home.
Yeah. So I'd say
7 times a year, basically. Yeah. But it was an Andy Mayo. It was an Andy Mayo message. Mayo was like 36 messages in a row that I've not responded to. Him and the guy who wrote the 9/11 blog, Vindog. They're the two leaders. Vindog has like 70 messages in a row to me that I've not responded to. Like 70 over like 5 years. Yeah.
Nice. I think I covered everything I had on my list. Kirk,
you sure, Freddie? This can be away for a while. Yeah.
Any questions, Kirk? Actually, sure. Yeah, one more.
Okay. Yeah.
Any questions for me?
I don't have many. Yeah.
Kirk, you're a fan of this show, you've said.
Mm-hmm.
What's been your favorite, pairing or appearance on this show?
I don't remember all of them. I enjoyed Mike and Clemmer together. It's funny. Yeah. It's funny with Mike. Like I was thinking about Mike the other day, even for not Wilbur stuff, for Laconia stuff. It's funny. He's on the show every day. He's a big part of the show, but he's sort of also separated from the KMS show.
You know about Mike?
Yeah. It's like
he said you and him don't talk other than on the air.
Never. I've never had a conversation with Mike off the air longer than 30 seconds. And I've talked to him for, I don't know, 2,000 hours, probably, or 1,000 hours on the show. But no,
there's a correlation between that and the fact he's been around this whole time.
Yeah, I think for sure. But it's funny. He's done a great job of being really good in the show, but also wisely, I think, not. Like you look at his Twitter account, which is good. Like he's not ingrained super into the show. I think for him that's smart. But I liked hearing him and Clemmer together. That was
too much Cheers talk. I thought
that was uncomfortable for sure.
You stepped all over that, Freddie.
Endless. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other recent pairings. I like. Go ahead.
Bobby Costa, I think, is great on the show.
on this show.
Every time Bobby Costa's in front of a microphone, I think it's a good thing.
Has he been on your show?
Yes, he was on with Ted Sellers week 2.
I don't know if I saw that one. It was good or no.
Well, Kirk, 2 days later, you called this show excellent, so I'm imagining you saw it.
I'm sure I did, Freddie. I don't. My RAM has there's only so much. I'm sure it was good. I like Bobby Costa. I mean, listen, I'm on. Danny and Billerica is in that chat killing Ted Sellers, so that's a whole different.
Not true.
You're not in that chat.
I am in the chat, but I was not.
Do people in that chat criticize Ted Sellers?
How many?
Do people do it?
It was very exaggerated.
By me.
Or whoever,
Mutt
passed that information on to you.
That was Mike Mutnansky.
It was a very light criticism.
Okay.
By a couple of people.
Whom?
I'm not here to name names.
Unbelievable. Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up. I'll let you guys get home and get a nice a good night's sleep. You get Stein time tomorrow. Bradley Stein in the studio.
Yeah, we do.
Danny, anything to promote?
Nope.
No, that old show's not coming back, Danny. No.
We were talking about this in the pre-show banter. I'd love to bring it back at some point. I think Daver might even be game for it, but
good.
I just can't commit to it at this point. But I miss doing the show. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully some point the stars will align.
Okay, perfect, good.
Kirk, anything else before we say goodnight?
No. Again, just looking forward to thanks, Freddie, doing a great job. Danny, always good to see you. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody next week in Laconia. We'll be ready. We'll put on a hell of a show, I hope. And tomorrow and Friday? Calls Friday, Justin? All right, yeah, we're good.
Thank you for everybody watching. If this is your first time watching a show on the network, this is the best one, so only watch this one. I'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.